Okay, so this is step by step on a eco valve replacement.
How many come to a case? Yeah,
So from time to time,
10 rolls of 10 bags.
you might get a condition. You run the baler down, and you can hear a hissing inside. Verify that, or where it's leaking.
Anything else for you?
First, you take off side panel.
We have the blue wire ties to tie the bags together. You have enough of those, and then, you guys still have the cardboard baler. There should be, the string, the 2 white rolls of the string that go on top to tie the bales together.
3 number 4 Allen screws on the side panel.
Come in a case, which is 6 rolls. So if you want 1 case of those, and then usually those are the most common supply, blue wire ties, the cardboard band, and the bag.
Make sure I get all that shot. Okay. So
All right, we'll get 2 cases of
what we want to do here,
the cardboard band for you. Today from our warehouse in Dallas. So
you see the handle. So to verify air leak, go ahead and close it, but don't drop the handle down. Bring it down. Put it in lock. Alright, at this point, we've got our plate down, and we can see up underneath. So you'll notice that when you hear that hissing inside, you want to check all the little fittings, make sure everything's pushed together. If we still have an air leak, spray the affected areas, or suspected areas, sorry, with soap, and the leak will actually start to bubble. I've seen these bubble as well. Now these are pretty easy to not only bypass, but to change as well. So the first thing we need is something that will block the plate. Alright. Not the most effective, but I'm going to go with a hammer because it's what I have here at the moment. Block of wood's much more preferred. Okay, in these models there's only 20 pounds of real serious force. That's why if you get cardboard stuck in the edges, it doesn't have enough oomph to overcome it. So that way if we stuck our hand in here, it's going to squeeze us and it's going to be very uncomfortable, but it won't break us or do serious damage. Still not a good idea. That's the whole reason I have the side panel on, so in case if I was to get stuck, I could use my other hand to activate this valve and get free. Alright, so to bypass this valve, or to change it, first thing we're going to want to do, shut off the air. So what I just did is I pulled our lockout tag-out valve up. So when you go to turn this back on, we have to pull that little sheave up and rotate it. Alright, so first thing we do is push in on the little red hose, grab a hold of the T at the back, and kind of pop the hose out. So what I did is I just disconnected it here at this hose T. Next thing you want to do, disconnect it at the front. Push into the red and pull out at the same time. Now, this one's pretty tight. You got that 1-inch piece of hose still attached. I'm gonna wanna get rid of that. Once I find the right angle to grab a hold of it at. Get it out. So, if it's lined up just right, you can actually kind of rotate this thing out, but it's a little too tight. Okay, we've got 2 Allen screws that hold that mount together. What you do is loosen these. You don't have to take them all the way out. Just you want to loosen it so it drops past this little blue collar. Alright, that's pretty tight. And they don't have to be, the mount bolts should not be this tight. Okay. Alright, so I just loosened it up. So now I can spin this thing out completely. So, right. So what you saw here, little brass plunger pulls out and goes on top of that inside that black plastic housing. If we were to take this hose and connect this directly to the T, this machine will actually work. It just will not be metered. So what that means is higher energy bills. Compressor works harder, but as a temporary fix to get you through until the replacement part comes, it's not really a bad idea. So we're gonna do the reinstall of the new part, since this is a brand new part. First thing we do is shove the brass up inside the housing, come back in with the eco valve, and we just thread it in to the housing. Now the way you don't get this confused is the lower port is always going to go towards the T, and the higher port is always going to go towards that front hose coming off the control switch. So first we need our little piece of black hose back. Well, actually, you know what? We might want to tighten that mount now. So this thing is in perfect position. Now, once again, these bolts do not have to be very tight. There's not a whole lot of vibration going on in here, so at least not at this level. Most of the vibration is going to take place down towards the bottom as it compresses, but not enough to actually shake this thing loose. Maybe. I mean, the springs will go out before this thing gets shake loose. Okay, so to reinsert, it's just push. And there's teeth in here that actually grab it as it sets. So, front hose into the front. And that was a number 6 Allen, by the way. And number 4 for the sides. Okay, so next thing we need to do is test our repair. So, I still got the panel off. Alright, so I need to get my hammer out of here. I'll just like to close it, make sure all the bits and pieces are safe.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh, turn the air back on. Activate our valve. Our hammer fell out. Put it in lock. Grab my hammer. continue plate downward and kind of just hold on to it. If you've got this held down, you can even, if you need to, wedge a screwdriver in there. Well, bigger screwdriver. That way you can, don't get your head in here, but stand at the opening and kind of listen. You'll hear a hissing noise. Then, just to be sure, spray the fittings down once again with this depressed and with it in press, so it dials up to full pressure. And look for bubbles. If you don't have any bubbles, then you've completed your repair successfully. Goes back up, and then it's a matter of just popping the side panel back on.